Batman Superman World's Finest is one of the best comics out there right now, and there's no arguing that. So this opens up literally with Superman getting wrecked. I mean, just getting it absolutely handed to him by Ultra-Morpho. This is a guy that can duplicate any element on Earth and even elements that are not from Earth, as well as any superpower he comes across. Quite literally, this guy can turn himself into a walking, talking piece of green kryptonite and be as strong as Superman. Now, the question you have to ask is, where's Batman while Superman's getting dominated this whole time? Because fighting a giant piece of green kryptonite is not going too well. What's crazy about this is that when Batman arrives on the scene, he shows up in this whole new suit of armor. Now, here's what makes this suit so deadly. It's actually composed of the Metal Men. Who are the Metal Men? Okay, we don't need to go into detail about them because their history is ridiculously lengthy, but the long and short of this is that the powers of the Metal Men give the bat suit super strength. It allows the suit to stretch indefinitely. It allows it to melt down and then squeeze through any space and then return to normal. And it even allows him to encase himself in lead to protect him from any kind of radiation. But this guy jumps in and immediately starts dominating Ultra-Morpho, because the very nature of Ultra-Morpho is, sure, he can copy elements, but is fighting fire with fire. At the very least, this guy does not know how to immediately overcome the suit. Now, that's the thing about Ultra-Morpho. The longer he fights a foe, the more capable he becomes in facing off against that foe. Part of that is due to his ability to copy elements, but the other part of it is his ability to copy powers. So that's what makes him so dangerous here. Now, what's really cool about this fight is you've got Ultra-Morpho who's like turning himself into a gaseous form, so when Batman goes to punch him, it punches straight through him. So it's really awesome to see him just kind of adapt on the fly. Not only that, you basically have the Metal Men who suddenly disperse off of Batman, basically abandoning the suit, and then in turn immediately go after Ultra-Morpho. But one of them also bonds themselves to Superman, which allows him to be encased in lead and then protect himself from the influence of Ultra-Morpho. It's cool. It's really, really dope, and I really hope this is a suit that Batman keeps for the foreseeable future. The problem with this is that Ultra-Morpho turns himself to acid and then blasts Robin with it, which puts him out of commission. Then he fires off a super hot blast of energy, which basically takes out all the Metal Men and even starts to overheat Mercury. Then he turns himself into a toxic gas that knocks out Batman and Superman, and then he flies off with them. Now, the question to ask here is, where do the Metal Men, right? Like, what happened to them? So one of the things to know about the Metal Men is that they're programmed to preserve human life at every possible opportunity. And so when Batman and Superman were basically overtaken and snatched away by Ultra-Morpho, the Metal Men immediately grabbed Robin and Metamorpho, kind of at least one half of the template for Ultra-Morpho himself, and they whisked them away to safety. That's what they're programmed to do. And so following this, we pick up with Batman and Superman waking up after having been captured. Now, both of them have inhibitor collars. With Superman, it makes sense because the inhibitor collar shuts his powers down. With Batman, it didn't initially make any sense. The guy has no powers. I mean, I guess you could shut down his brain, but then of what use is he if he's just in a vegetative state? The other part of this inhibitor collar, though, is that it basically forces a person to bend to authority by literally just electrocuting them. But as they look around, what they start to realize here is that you have all these individuals who are experts in robotics and AI, villains and heroes alike, who have been snatched up and they're forced to basically work on these robotic components. We don't know exactly what it's all going towards, but their initial thought here is that Dr. Anthony Ivo is the one behind all of this. Why? Because Anthony Ivo is the one who created Amazo, and even when they first faced off against Ultra-Morpho and whenever he talked, the voice they heard was Anthony Ivo's voice. So by all standards of measurement, Ivo was the one pulling the strings. But that turns out to not be the case because they spot Dr. Ivo as one of the people being held prisoner here, which means somebody else out there is controlling Ultra-Morpho. And so even when they start asking questions, one of the things they're told by Ivo is, no, right? Do not ask questions. He doesn't like it when you talk. You get electrocuted when that happens, which is exactly what happens to Batman and Superman. Their next thought here is that Amazo had basically broken free of control from Anthony Ivo, and he's the one running the show. But then we find out Amazo's here as well. Again, Amazo is the one that has the ability to copy powers, Metamorpho copies elements, Ultra-Morpho is the both of them combined into one robot. And so as they keep asking questions, despite the fact that they know they're not supposed to, this kind of disembodied voice comes out of nowhere, only for us to find that it's basically called New Mazo. It's a new Amazo. So the question that has to be asked here is, if you have Ultra-Morpho that can copy powers and elements and was able to overpower Batman and Superman, and that thing's answering to Amazo 2.0 or New Mazo, what possible powers can this dude have that robot, Ultra-Morpho, would answer to him? Is it just simple programming, or is this dude on a whole nother level? We don't know, but we'll find out in the next video. With that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this to an end. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later. Peace.